Welcome to Maanav Nature family. Um, want to say hi from this Manav to the 8 billion, my brother and sister of this Maanav Nature family. Hope you're doing well. Welcome again to episode 2 of Laws of Nature. So, in the episode 1, we talked about. Now, before we get there, please keep hitting the subscribe button. Please share, like, and spread the word around. The more you subscribe, the more these videos based on the algorithms get shown and gets circulated around. So if you like it, please do it. If you don't like it, I'll strive harder to make sure you enjoy our content, right? So let's come to what we talked about, Laws of Nature, episode 1, where we talked about the nourishing sequence. Now I want to add a little bit of some additional things on the nourishing sequence, right? There is 2 variations here. So let's talk about the nourishing sequence again, right? The fire element nourishes the earth element, right? The earth element nourishes the metal, right? Fire is nourishing the earth. You need the heat, you need the sun to nourish your soil. The earth is where all the metals are coming from. So if your soil is healthy, you have good metals. Your metal is nourishing the water. Water needs minerals, good minerals to nourish the water. And the water is required to keep your trees, your roots of your trees healthy, the seeds to sprout again, right? And then you need the wood to burn so that you have enough fire, right? So this is what the nourishing sequence is, right? Now, but there is a scenario. So this is very funny. There's a mother and a child relationship, right? You see in a typical mother-child where the child is, "Mama, I need you. I want you here. I cannot stay without you," right? And they get super cranky when they're not well. There are certain kids who are really clinging onto their mother, which is all great. But if it goes 24/7, the mother suffers, right? And it also goes the other way. The mother is not able to nourish the child properly because of deficiency on the mother side, or the child is overdrawing from the mother, right? So if the mother, let's say your kids need food and your mother is not feeling well and doesn't have energy, then who suffers? Child suffers, and the mother suffers as well. And if the child is not feeling well and she's not letting the mother sleep whole night, whole day, again mother suffers. So the child is overdrawing from the mother. So this is how the nourishing sequence you need to understand here, right? So let's talk about the first sequence, which is the wood and the fire, right? So if you have, let's say, the wood acting or not nourishing the fire, so who becomes deficient? The fire becomes deficient. There's not enough fire, right? And what happens when there's not enough fire? The heart requires blood, governance of blood. And you'll have palpitations, insomnia, these kind of clinical manifestation, right? Because the liver is not able to nourish the heart properly, right? In terms of the storage of blood. So there's not enough storage of blood. So the heart is getting deficient in terms of governance, pumping out, needs a strong supply of blood. Now what happens the other way, right? So when it goes the other way, where the liver, where the heart or the fire element is affecting the wood element, where the wood element is becoming deficient. You saw this case of Hawaii where you had this wildfire. My heart goes out to the people of Maui who lost their lives, and you see forest fires all over the place, right? So too much fire is taking care of all the trees and you have nothing left, right? So if you go the other way around, right, where the mind, there's no lack of blood on the liver side, what clinical manifestation you're going to see? You will see amenorrhea, scanty periods, menstrual cycles getting affected, right? That's the child overdrawing from the mother. Let's go on the next sequence, which is the fire nourishing the earth, right? But if the fire is not able to nourish the earth properly, which is the heart, not able to nourish the stomach, spleen. Spleen is making the blood. Spleen is responsible for transportation, transformation of food to create that vital prana energy, which is governed by the lungs. It's creating the blood as well, right? So what happens and what is the property of fire? Is to give heat. Now, if you don't have enough heat coming to spleen, you need the balanced amount of heat, right? Then what happens? You have the feeling of coldness, cold feet, coldness in the body, feeling chill all the time, and you feel you have diarrhea, loose stools, and these kind of things. Now, if the child is overdrawing, in this case where you have, the stomach and the spleen overdrawing from the heart element, what is happening there then? So then you have the similar thing where you are, in this case, you are, the heart needs strong supply of blood. And again, it's like heart is getting deficient. So you again have palpitation, insomnia, depression kind of clinical manifestation, right? Now let's go to the next element in line where the spleen or the earth element is the mother of the metal, where the metal is the child element. So what happens when the mother is not able to nourish, the metal becomes deficient, there's not enough metals, right? And the lung is not able to get enough food to create that vital, so what is spleen doing? It's sending, transporting and transforming that food to create that vital energy. And what will happen? So it will create a lot of dampness in the lung, and the lung will have breathlessness, asthma kind of issues, right? So you see a lot of people who get cold and sinuses and throat kind of thing, and then their phlegm goes down into their lungs, right? So that what you see from a clinical is the stomach and spleen, the stools are not moving well, and that is why you have congestion in the body, right? So that is a very important clinical manifestation that I see it on the ground every day, right? Now the other way where the metal is overacting on the earth element, right? Where the earth element is deficient now, which is the stomach and spleen is getting deficient, right? And what is going to happen there, right? So you will have less appetite, loose stools, no appetite, tiredness, and these things. Remember, stomach and spleen is the emotion of pensiveness, broodiness. They worry a lot, think a lot, hypochondria, kind of facial expression, right? So there's deficiency in stomach, spleen, cause those things. So they don't feel like eating, they don't feel like doing, and you have these kind of deficiency in the spleen that is happening from the lungs, because the lung is overdrawing from the liver, right? The lung is overdrawing from the liver, and not the liver, but the stomach, spleen. So stomach, spleen is not able to perform properly. Now let's talk about the next element in line, which is the lung affecting the kidney, which is the metal affecting the water element, right? So kidney is responsible for excretion of fluids, right? And if you don't have enough fluids coming to kidney for excretion, you're going to have feelings of dryness, burning, and all these different clinical manifestations, right? As well as breathlessness, you'll see, right, in those factors as well. Now let's talk about the other way where the kidneys are affecting the lungs, where kidneys is taking too much from the lung and the lung is getting deficient, right? And that will again cause, breathlessness and these kind of manifestations in the lungs, right? If the kidney is overdrawing from the lungs. The last element in this series is the kidney affecting the liver, where the mother is the kidney, liver is the child, right? And the kidney is deficient. So what happens in these kind of, you'll have clinical manifestation of dizziness, tinnitus, irritation, these kind of clinical manifestation. Also menstrual issues, where kidney is deficient. The liver overdrawing from the kidney is another scenario, right? Where the liver is deficient and kidney is, kidney becomes deficient. It was the other way. The liver was deficient. The liver overdrawing from the kidney and the kidney becomes deficient. And what is kidney responsible for? Kidney is responsible for, it manifests into ears, manifests into bones, right? And what happens in that scenario, right? You will have poor bone development, you will have sexual. Kidney is responsible for the reproduction. It's the essence of life. Doing anything which you're doing, willpower to do anything, that is all responsible from kidney, right? So you will again have dizziness, all these kind of clinical manifestation because the kidney is deficient because of liver overdrawing from the kidney. So this is how the whole nourishing sequence, when it goes out of balance, works. Where there's a mother and a child relationship, the mother is not nourishing the child properly, or the child overdrawing from the mother. And you can see that in your walk of life. You can see in a very, very real way in a mother-child relationship. And this is how laws of nature, what Maanav Nature does is not just talk, it's not just preaching. I work behind the scene, on the ground with the people. So it's all about walk the talk. It's not just talk, it's a lot of walk the talk here. And the channel is just to give you a lot of information how the whole things which have always existed in nature works, and how you can kind of map it to at the clinical level, at the organ level, at the mental level, at the emotional level, at the sensations level, at the smell level, at the taste level, at the touch level, all fluids level that body creates. Different organs are responsible for different, like heart is responsible for sweat, right? So if you're not sweating enough, or you're over sweating, your heart is getting taxed there, right? So this all exists in the nature, right? So if you like this video, please subscribe, share this video, and we'll be launching very soon, I think in the next couple of days, episode 3, which will talk about the regulating and the insulting sequence, right? Thank you so much. If you liked it, continue to watch it, and we'll be back soon. Thank you.